Hi everyone, today I'm here with item number K51378, our Le Creuset 15 3/4 inch cast iron skillet. Perfect everyday pan. You'll notice I'm already got my steaks going right here, so we'll talk about a couple different things at the same time because these are about ready to turn over. We talk about cast iron and the importance of cast iron. The fact that the heat retention and the heat distribution with cast iron is like no other cookware out there. So when you cook with cast iron, you really start understanding why getting that beautiful, nice caramelization on your meats, on your vegetables is so important, but yet that's what this pan was designed to do. So it's almost effortless. So every single time that you do this. Now, what this does, the caramelization is what develops the flavor. So what I'm gonna do with these steaks, I'm gonna give them about a minute or so on the other side here just to kind of let them going. I'm not even gonna finish these in the oven. The cast iron is gonna just allow all that heat to kind of go right through the steak. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a sauce in here. We're gonna add a little red wine, we're gonna add some shallots and some mushrooms in here and just do like a nice little mushroom sauce with red wine. So we'll get back to that in 1 second. Now, again, it's item number K51378, and our price today is $199.98, which is a really great price. And also, you got 5 easy pays of $40, so you can stretch those payments out. And by the way, they both go away at the end of the day. So let's get into our next item here, and we're talking about this. The great part about this pan is the fact that it is oval shaped. It might not look like it on the camera, but it might look a little round, but trust me, it's oval. It's 15 3/4 inches from side to side. And the reason that we did that is so that you could cook those longer cuts of meat, so that you could cook lots of different things. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and make a really great stir fry right here, but the quantity is there. Now, when you're looking for surface area, okay, so you wanna make sure that the chicken, you don't wanna overload your typical pan. But since we have such a great deal of surface area on this pan, it's really easy to cook a lot of chicken in here for our stir fry, and our vegetables as well. So this is only gonna take just a couple minutes, but since we're looking at this, let me just show you a couple different features of this pan. So obviously it's oval. We've got nice handle right here, which is easy to grab, easy to maneuver. And what we've done as well, let me grab my other towel here so I don't burn myself. We've actually put another easy grab handle right here. This is called a handle helper that we add right here. So that if you're maneuvering around on your grill or on your stovetop, or you're going in and out of the oven, it's really easy to maneuver around because this is a heavy pan and you've also got, a lot of food in there. So I think we're gonna go to colors real quick. So we've got a lot of great colors in this one. We're gonna start off with our cerise. Now don't mind my eyes if I get the color wrong, but now we've got cool mint. This is a really awesome color. This is a nice kind of retro color if you like those, or if you have a white kitchen, it's just a really good complement to that. Next up, now flame. This is our iconic original color. It mimics the color of the cauldron when all that iron was getting melted down, and it's that nice red color. Next up, we've got our indigo, which is kind of a nice mix of blue, purple sort of mix right there. Real retro color as well. Then we've got our oyster, which is a beautiful gray. And then last but not least, we have our Marseille. The Marseille is just a really beautiful blue color, mimicking that southern town in New York. And then we got 5 easy pays of $40 each too, guys. So if you're gonna try to make your choice, take advantage of that easy pay. Now, our stir fry is about ready. I just flipped our chicken right here, but I wanna go back over to our steaks real quick. And remember when I talked about getting that beautiful caramelization, nice and golden brown on both sides. So let's go ahead and create our sauce right here. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna add our shallots in here. And I've got plenty of room. Notice I've got 3 big, like 13-ounce strip steaks in here, but I still have a lot of room left in my pan that I can kind of go ahead and cook. So I'm gonna add my shallots, and then I'm just gonna add some beautiful fresh mushrooms. Anything goes. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of butter. This is just gonna help kind of combine all those great ingredients. And then what we're gonna do, we've got all that nice fond. Never clean out the bottom of your pan when you're still cooking, because you wanna get all that beautiful fond, which is those little brown bits that might stick to the bottom. You want those. That's what creates a nice sauce. Now we're gonna add a little bit of red wine. And we're gonna let these all kind of cook down, gel together, and create this beautiful, beautiful flavored steak. In fact, all of those flavors are gonna sink right up into your steak. and it's really easy to do. This is just a technique called deglazing. Really simple to do, just removing all the stuff from the bottom of the pan, and that's done right there. Now, if you love to bake with this too, real quick, I've got my pizza since I'm staring at it right now. This is absolutely awesome. Get some store-bought dough, line the outside or the inside of the pan. You don't even really have to add any oil to this because it's got that non-stick, that easy release surface, I should say. But it gives a nice crispy crust all the way from the bottom, nice and even. You won't have any dark spots at all. And then it'll cook all the way up through here, and then you get the perfect melted cheese as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. I know we have some animation coming up too. I just want to kind of walk you through this before I go any further. Now, this just shows the enameling. So we've got the cast iron that's already been removed from the black sand mold. Now we've got a couple coats of our enamel on the outside and on the inside. Now, right there in the animation, we're showing a different colored enamel on the inside, the sand enamel. But what we've got here, this is our proprietary black enamel that we've got on this one. And this one's specially designed for high temperature cooking. So same idea. You'll notice when I'm cooking with right here, I added a little bit of oil because I like to get that nice browning on here. But honestly, I wouldn't have to if I didn't want to with my stir fry. Now I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add in my fresh vegetables. And this cooks quick. It takes the heat in quick, and you don't see any drastic drops in temperature. Now, if you did this with an aluminum pan, you probably would have some scorching on there. You wouldn't get even browning on any of your food. Plus, what you would do is see a significant drop in temperature. This pan, because it's cast iron, it retains and distributes heat like no other material out there. It's gonna maintain the perfect temperature all of the time. So we've got our nice, yeah, I mean, you can fit, I mean, I've got an entire stir fry. This probably feed 5 or 6 people. Just real quick, I'm gonna go to my fridge real quick, and I think I have some soy sauce in here to finish this up. Here, I got this sauce right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and sneak some of this in there. All right. And this is gonna kind of help formulate my sauce. And I've got a beautiful stir fry going. Now, I talked about the benefit of having a big surface area and having this being in an oval shape and some of the different things that you can do with it. And I'm gonna go overhead and we can kind of take a look at these two. They're actually on my left and right, but we'll go to this one first. We did pork tenderloins. Now, I love to cook pork tenderloins. They're kind of hard to cook sometimes because they try to keep them moist and juicy, but the whole idea of it is just cook them in the right, we cook them in the cast iron, we get that nice caramelization on the outside. We cook these on medium-high heat, so rather high heat because they're very lean. So when lean foods, you want to go high heat for a short period of time. So we've got 2 big pork tenderloins, and they go almost the whole distance. These are probably 12 inches at least long each. About 5 minutes on each side. We added some mandarin oranges, we added some onions, and we added a little bit of white wine, and that's it. Just a simple recipe. And then over to my right, I've got about 3/4 of a side of salmon that used to be this big, and all we did was kind of cut the tail piece off, and we just roasted it right in here. We seared the one side, we turned it over, and it came right off. Remember, the interior of this, the black enamel that we have in here, it's easy release. And I always like to say, if something is sticking, it's just not ready to be turned yet. So what we did, we put our salmon down on flesh side down, and as soon as we started to release, we flipped it over, we added our vegetables, and then we finished it right in the oven. It only took about another 8 to 10 minutes, and it's the perfect recipe. Now, as far as cleanup is concerned, cleanup is so easy with our cast iron products. Most times, if you do deglaze, so when I finish my stir fry, which I'm just about finished right now, I can actually just deglaze it with a little bit of water. Now, if you have some stubborn, I wouldn't call them even stains, if you just temporary stains on there, all you're gonna do is get a little soapy water, get a scrubbing pad, and run it under some warm water. And I think just a little scrubbing right there will typically do any of the work for you, and you should be done. But I demonstrated in the last show, we had mac and cheese, we had some ziti, we had a cobbler, and we had some really stubborn, and actually we did spaghetti and meatballs, and the tomato sauce doesn't stain, and it's easy release. So I think you'll find that there won't be a whole lot of work necessary in order to keep these clean. So I think I'm ready to kind of plate this up. So we talked about the versatility, the fact that you can bake with this. You can make a beautiful stir fry with this. Cook your steaks. Cooking your steaks, I really, as much as I love to grill, when I do my steaks and burgers, I prefer cooking cast iron. It's just, you know, I like getting that nice crust on my burgers and that crust on my steaks. And then I don't even have to finish them off in the oven. I just actually shut the heat off of my pan and I let my steak just ride on the pan. The heat is just going to keep giving up from the pan to finish off your steaks just perfectly. In fact, you almost even have to rest them because it's just gentle heat coming up from there. Oh, by the way, I didn't get to show you guys something that's really cool that I like to do. We actually made a whole breakfast in here. I think I'll have time to do this. We made our hash browns and our perfectly, beautifully cooked bacon right here. And then all I'm going to simply do is I'm going to drop my eggs in that little free space that I still have over here. And I can prove this because our last show just last hour, the eggs come right off of this cast iron just with the spatula. They come right off just as if they were in a nonstick pan. And that's the properties and that's the qualities that you get. Now, item K5173 or 78. Now we're going to go through the colors just before we go. First off, we've got. Okay, the first color that we have is our cerise. Then we have our cool mint. Then we've got our flame. Remember the original color that we brought here. Then we've got our indigo, which is that nice blue pearl. Then we've got our oyster. And last but not least, we've got our Marseille, a beautiful blue. All right, Marie-Louise, it seems like I'm always in front of you. So what do you got today?
Oh, and it's the fragrance. I can just imagine. I
know,
love
right?
Le
Yeah,
Creuset.
I know, right?
You did such a great job, Greg. What a great start. Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday night.